Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Aaron's Book Club. I am recovering from a rather nasty horse fall that happened at a show that I went to this weekend. So I am not allowing myself to get back on the horse until I've fully recovered, which sucks, but I know it's the smart thing to do. Anyway, it has left me a little more time to read, and as such, I have another book review to do. So, the review I have to do today is, first of all, completely and unashamedly unbiased. Telling you that from the get go. It is a Stephen King book. The title is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. First and foremost, I want to say that this is one that I haven't even heard of that Stephen King wrote. And when I looked into the front page, it says it's copyrighted for 1999. I haven't even heard of it. But boy, what a good book. I'm going to read the back of it to you just so you know what we're getting into. The world has teeth, and it could bite you with them at any time it wanted. Tricia McFarlane discovered this when she was 9 years old. At 10 o'clock on a morning in early June, she was sitting in the back seat of her mother's Dodge Caravan wearing her blue Red Sox batting practice jersey, the one with 36 Gordon on the back, and playing with Mona, her doll. At 10:30, she was lost in the woods. By 11, she was trying not to be terrified, trying not to let herself think, this is serious, this is very serious. Trying not to think that sometimes when people got lost in the woods, they got seriously hurt. Sometimes they died. So it's strange because Stephen King, whenever I read him, I'm always feeling like I'm meeting up with an old friend. And as much as my relationship with my mother has failed and um, been destroyed to the point where I fired her as a mother, that is the one thing that I remember as a child that we were both kind of happy about was looking at the Stephen King books. And the joy of Stephen King came to me then later, and I'm so happy that I was introduced to Stephen King because I love the way he writes. That being said, this was an actually slow start for me, and it may have been because it was based on a baseball team that I know nothing about. I'm not a sports person. I'm not interested in sports or anything. So the beginning of that it was slow. It was you got introduced to the family that was dysfunctional, going through a divorce. This will not be a spoiler-free review. There will be spoils in this review, just letting you know. Going through a divorce and the kids struggling with that and that kind of thing. And really, that should have spoken to me more than anything else because again, my family divorced, but I had a hard time bonding with anybody there. The mother acting selfish and just I had a hard time. Then she finally gets lost in the woods, and the way that he writes it happening, something so simple um, as going off to pee a few steps off the trail and getting far enough off the trail that you can't see people. But then if you can't see people and you go the wrong way, and then you're lost. And the way that he gets into her head and you follow around with her for days that she's been lost in the woods, and the whole time, and this is another thing too, the whole time you're thinking he may actually kill this character off near the end because King is known for getting the innocent character, usually a child or a youngster or just a plain good person, getting you to bond with that person and then killing them off. So while you're reading this, you have actual real fear for this girl because you know at any point in time he may decide he just wants to kill her off. And it would be just as easy for, instead of him writing about a confrontation between the it that was following her, it would have been just as easy for him to say, well, then the mother finds the body. So the fact that he didn't kill her off was actually refreshing. The final conflict, though, with the it bear, I kind of felt let down because the whole time that we were being introduced to this entity that was following her, you knew he was talking about it seemed like he was talking about the it character from the like Pennywise the dancing clown. But then for it to be a bear with, rotting eyes that wasn't really a bear, it just felt like a cheap easy way out. I don't know. In some way it felt like a cheap easy way out, and then in another way, well, her brain at that point was mush, and this thing that was following her could just be another part of her brain. And now she's confronting that. I don't know. It's interesting. It's something that I think I'm going to read again, because again, it's one of his shortest stories I've ever had to deal with. Um, but there's many ways to look at this. You can look at this as her traveling through the woods, and just as she created Tom Gordon in her mind, all of the other enemies and stuff could have been that bear. I don't know. Anyway, I really, really enjoyed the book. There were times when I couldn't wait for break at work so I could read it at work. But yeah, any of you Stephen King fans, if you haven't read The Girl Who Loves Tom Gordon, this is a nice, quick, easy read that would be great in anybody's collection. So thank you very much, and I'll let you know when I have another book